My name is Niran Adedokun. I'm a public relations practitioner. I'm a lawyer and a writer, one that is really passionate about Nigeria. The Law is an House is a collection of short stories. It's the first work of fiction that I'll be doing. It's my third book, by the way, and it's the first work of fiction that I'll be doing. It's a kind of passion project for me, and I thought it would be a significant thing lovely thing, to present it to the public on my birthday, on my 50th birthday. The Danfo Driver, in other words, it's non-fiction. It's a collection of articles that have been published in The Punch, TheCable, and some other platforms where I've written before. So it's non-fiction. They are essentially commentaries about Nigeria. But this new book, The Law is an House, is fiction. They are creative stories, basically. So that's the difference between the two books. At the time that we put the Danfo Driver and All of Us together, I had written the column. I had written my column for The Punch for about 5 years. And within that period, there was a time that the Punch had a problem with their website, and I lost some of my articles. I couldn't even still find some of them up to today. So at that point, I began to think that it would be a nice idea, to have a book, if only just to keep the articles for posterity. So that's how I decided to put these articles together. I'm sure I have hundreds of them now, so this book has just about 50 articles. Okay, so as it concerns how we arrived at the title, it was some sort of battle. Myself and my publishers were, debating on what title to use. Until one day, it just occurred to me that, there's an article in the collection with the title The Danfo Driver and All of Us, which speaks to what I consider to be my passion, for every Nigerian to realize that there is something they can contribute to the development of the country. There is something all of us can do better, to make Nigeria a better place for all of us. So, and that's how I just suggested it to them, and everybody liked the idea. Now, the article itself speaks to, takes the Danfo Driver in Lagos as a metaphor for Nigerians. The things that the Danfo Driver does that we find in the average Nigerian. An example is the fact that he thinks about himself alone. And I think that there are a lot of Nigerians who don't consider the other person. They just want, everything that is good for themselves and not the other person, whether they are in government, whether they are the common citizen, So I felt that article will relate, and resonate with every Nigerian. So that's how we arrived at using the title for the book. So Ladies Calling the Shots is this profile of about 17 women, female filmmakers in Nigeria, essentially film directors. And it was inspired by it was inspired by the fact that I realized that women were really doing significantly as directors, doing significant things as director. I had gone to see The Wedding Party, directed by Kemi Adetiba. And when I got out of the hall, I said to myself that, come to think of it, there are quite a number of women who are directors in Nigeria. I remember Niran Adedokun's The Meeting, and then The Visit by Funke Fayoyin. The Visit was particularly spectacular because it was a film with just about two locations and 4 characters, and it was so excellently done that I still can't forget it, So, and I said to myself that, wow, I even just thought we had just about 3 or 4 women. So I was discussing this with my wife that I'm thinking of doing a book just profiling these women. And then I got to a friend of mine. I called a friend of mine who is, she's now a director, but then she wasn't directing. Her name is Judith Howdu. So I said to her that, how many women do you people have that are directing? She said, there are quite a number. I said, wow. So I asked her to give me a list, and she came back to me the second day with a list of about 20 people. And I'm like, wow, So I haven't studied theater arts. I realized that the director, even on stage, and in whether in TV or in cinema, the director is usually it's an appreciated role in filmmaking. In spite of the fact that they are the people who put the film together, essentially, people don't realize, people don't even remember, people don't ask who the director is. You just see a very brilliant actor, you see the fine scenery, and you got very enthralled with the film, but you don't know who the director is. So I felt like it would be nice to celebrate these women, one, because they are directors, and two, because they are female in a male-dominated area. Essentially that's how I went about it. And at the end of the day, I reached out to every one of them that I had on my list. I think I was able to interview about 14 of them. One or two of them said they were not interested in the project at that time, so I went ahead with it, and also brought in Amagaiwe, who had passed on a few years before then, and of course Lola Fanikayode, who is also a pioneer, and so that's how I came about the book. Okay, so I studied theater at yes, and then from theater, I knew I was going to be a journalist, even while I was in the theater in the University of Ilorin, studied performing arts. I knew I was going to be a journalist. I was involved in campus journalism, and so it was just a matter of course, natural course when I graduated. And then of course, I always wanted to study law, so I went back to school to study law. I really would wish to see a better Nigeria. I pray that things change in Nigeria. I pray that everyone in Nigeria realizes the potential of the country and the capacity that they have to change things in the country. I think that the major problem with Nigeria is leadership. I have no doubt, absolutely no doubt about that. The people have issues, but people have issues everywhere. Lawlessness can prevail anywhere where leadership is poor, where there are no consequences. So I think that if Nigeria sees that, okay, there are laws, and there are consequences to every infraction, Nigerians will behave better. But I think most importantly, we need to consider the choice of leadership selection process. The people who are leaders in Nigeria are mostly not motivated. They are not even, most of them are motivated by money. They just want to go, they think politics is lucrative and they want to go. And the essence of service, is not in leadership in Nigeria. So I hope that Nigerians will be more careful, will be more choosy, will be more, will be more, you will question politicians more, question their motive, find out what they want to do before you vote for them. Don't just vote anybody because they are distributing money for you or something. We need people who have the skills, who have the know-how, and who have a passion for people, who are compassionate to move Nigeria forward. I just wish every Nigerian the best, even as we move towards 2023, 2023, that we will realize the roles that we need to play in electing the leaders that will change Nigeria.